The Frenchman, a legacy novella, written by Sheritta Bitikofer, narrated by J. Lindenwood.
The Frenchman, Chapter 1, Warminster, Wiltshire County, England, 1623. "Darren, put that down!" his mother, Martha, screamed from the second-story window. "That's not for you to concern yourself with. Let the serfs carry the load." Darren's thin arms finally gave out, and he dropped the wheelbarrow back onto its iron legs. His palms and fingers burned a bright red from the effort he had put into gripping the wooden handles tight enough to push the wheelbarrow a measly yard. With his arms sore and face hot, he looked over his shoulder to see his mother leaning out the open window. She was still dressed in nothing, but her chemise and long brown hair draped like a thick curtain in front of her chest. She waved her hand wildly at a servant who happened to be making their way out to the fields. "Arthur, take that away from my son before he hurts himself." Darren turned and puckered his lips in a seething scowl that he didn't want his mother to see. He despised his rangy build, and the unerring fact that he was useless for anything more than stealing the air that rightfully belonged to those who could do more than him. In his own eyes, he was a waste of space, without skill or purpose. Arthur, an elderly serf who had served the Dubose household since Martha's first husband passed away, came to Darren's side with a look of utter pity. He had to be well into his 60s, the son of another tenant farmer from Scotland who had moved to England in hopes for better work. Even this old man, whose skin had been darkened by years of toiling in the sun, could carry the wheelbarrow brimming with cattle feed with ease. Yet Darren, who should have been in his prime, was hardly capable of bringing the load to the baiting place where the cattle took their twice-daily meal. "It's all right, Master Darren," Arthur said in his wiry Scottish brogue. "You just rest yourself." "Rest yourself, Darren mocked breathlessly. "That's all I ever do is rest." Arthur shrugged his bony shoulders. "Enjoy it while you can." With that last word of advice, he hoisted the wheelbarrow off its legs and carted it down into the fallow field to the south. As Darren listened to the single squeaking wheel roll away, a gust of wind whipped across the estate, making his lightweight shirt and vest ripple against his frame. He shivered as the chill crept along his skin. "Come inside, son, before you catch your death of a cold." Darren felt his lungs seize as he inhaled the cold air. He quickly pulled out his handkerchief from his trouser pocket and coughed into the fabric until his throat grew raw, which didn't take much at all. He had been coughing all morning and all through the night. The window his mother had been hanging out of latched closed, and, once more, the yard in front of their home was silent, besides the occasional groan from a milking cow or the bristling of wheat stalks in the adjoining field. Darren pulled the cloth away from his mouth to see it speckled with crimson blood. He scorned the metallic taste on his tongue and swallowed some of it back, wishing it had not come to this again. Ever since he was a boy, Darren was chronically sick. Whether it was a cold, pneumonia, or a simple case of severe fatigue, he was laid up in bed for one reason or another. As a result, he had become a frail and bitter young man. Many times he tried to be productive, even if it was helping his mother balance the books or riding into town to conduct some trade. Yet he longed to ease the burden of the serfs that served on the estate. The 4 fields that surrounded the sizable home was just a third of Martha's late husband's ownings. Upon his passing, it was rightfully willed to her, and it provided an amiable income. Wheat, barley, livestock, and the newest crop of potatoes kept their plates filled and coffers bursting. Martha, the mistress of the house, had been used to living lavishly, having come from an affluent French family of her own before she married below her station to a French farmer, with a dream to become a wealthy landowner in England. She never made the same mistake again, and chose her lovers with the utmost
Sample complete. Ready to continue?